This entire Bali holiday costs less than most Aussies spend on a weekend away, and my investments paid for it. Flights, hotel, food, and transport. I'm going to show you the numbers and then I'll break down how much you actually need invested to make a holiday like this essentially free. If you're new to the channel, I'm James and I'm founder of financetutor.com.au, where it's my mission to help teach people about investing. So Bali is about a 5 to 7 hour flight from Australia, depending on where you live, and it's filled with tropical beaches, amazing food, and some of the friendliest people on earth. And all of this can be yours for a fraction of the cost of your typical Aussie holiday. So without further ado, let's jump into the numbers. Let's start with hotels. I stayed in 5 locations over 2 weeks, and on average it cost me $35 a night, and some of them even included breakfast. This is cheaper than a motel in regional Australia, and all of them had excellent service, fantastic rooms, and were at easy walking distance to bars and restaurants. Let's talk through some of the cost of our meals. On average, we were spending between $3 to $4 per meal, and this usually included a beer at lunch or dinner. Bali has some fantastic cuisine, including nasi goreng, nasi campur, and sambal matah. We also had a couple of Western dishes just to mix things up. With some of the hotels providing such a big breakfast, we usually only needed one main meal and a few snacks to keep us going for the rest of the day. So you're probably thinking, these costs are all fine and dandy when I'm there, but aren't I going to have to pay thousands of dollars for a flight? Well, I hope you're sitting down because we paid just $720 for 2 people. Try getting the flight from Sydney to Perth and see if you can get anywhere near that price. Here's a breakdown of the major costs of the trip. So that's how much we need our investments to pay out to make our holiday essentially free. Most people think you need 6 figures to do this, but the real number is much lower. So let's take a look at some average payouts from the ASX 200. We take a conservative approach and assume a 4% dividend yield from an ETF, and we need to generate roughly $1,200 annually. How much would you need in investments? The answer is roughly $30,000. This would generate around $1,200 taking into account market fluctuations, and you wouldn't need to sell any of your original investment. So there you have it. A fantastic holiday paid for by investing. This is just one holiday. Imagine what consistent investing can pay over the next 10 or 20 years. Interested in learning more about investing? Then visit my website. Until next time, cheers.